Welcome to the Bogart Effect, a wealthy wisdom podcast. Please see important disclosure information at the end of the presentation. So let's talk a little bit about availability bias. What is that?
So availability bias, I mean, we can look at this as many different ways that we can look at it. I actually used to work in advertising before I became a financial advisor. And availability bias is almost essential in the reasoning behind why you're marketed to. Ultimately, it's making decisions based off of what's most relevant, what's most recent, or if there's a traumatic event. Matter of fact, before we scheduled this, I was kind of brushing up on availability bias, and I came across a study. And this one kind of blow you away a little bit, but it was the question was asked: what scenario is more likely to cause death? Parts falling from an airplane or being killed by a shark, and this is in the U.S. And the overwhelming majority of it was answered by being killed by a shark. But the reality of it is that the probability is 30 times more greater of being hit by falling airplane parts. But we don't see that. We don't see news on that. But a shark attack, we see that on the nightly national news. So it's available to us. It creates a traumatic event, and that's what we're being fed. So it draws our bias to believe that event happens more often when, the perception or the facts of it is the opposite of it.
Oh gosh. So, there's so many applications to that same comment from a market perspective. And frankly, I'll tie it back to the comment you made at the very beginning is the availability of the information that we're being fed. Right. 30 years ago, we didn't have immediate access to information the way that we do now. Frankly, you look at 60 or even 90 years ago, how things have changed. And now with the dependency on... The previous podcast was intended for general information purposes only. The information discussed is no substitute for personalized investment advice from Bogart or another investment professional. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that the future performance of any specific investment, strategy, or service will be profitable, suitable, or successful. Bogart is not a law firm or accounting firm, and no portion of its services should be construed as legal or accounting advice. There is no guarantee a client will experience a certain level of results if Bogart is engaged. Our brochure describing services and fees can be found at www.bogartwealth.com.